Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Nick with Us versus Herd. What's going on? Chat is lit today at the open here. Let's see here. Anyways, if you don't know, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button. If you're not yet a member of our free options trading group, the link is below. Don't mind the glasses today. I actually wear these when I've been staring at the monitor too long. Just my eyes have been really sensitive these last few days. If you're here right now, if all those that are waiting, thank you for waiting. Say what up. If you're here right now, what up? Wally, I see you. Christopher, I see you. Joe, Jeff, Logic, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Yeah, if you're here, Algo, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're tuning into the streams. Definitely appreciate all you guys. We're like super close to 3,000 subscribers. I want to thank you so much. If you're subscribed and you want to get notifications for this, push that little bell button. We go live at 3:30, or we post a live video at 3:30 Central every day, or half if it's easier for you to remember the time zones, half hour after market closes. So after the market close, we're on half an hour. Greg, what's going on? Alex, Dallas, what's up? Brookhard, what's going on? Yeah, we got the today is the UVH family chat where we go through. I'm just trying to meet you guys, meet everyone that's here, meet everybody that's been watching me. Just really trying to connect with you, kind of talk the stock market, good things, bad things. Today was a bit of a heartbreaker for myself. Cameron, what up? Definitely interesting. Hamed, what's going on? And one of the things like this week for me was just disappointing is that I was out a lot. So I think today I just forced some stuff that I probably normally wouldn't have done, just because I was basically flat on the week. I was down like 50, 60 bucks yesterday on the week. But I really haven't done that many trades because like on Monday I was gone, Wednesday I was gone, and then Tuesday I didn't really do anything till like end of day. So I was gone most of Tuesday, and then Thursday I put on some trades that came through today, but yeah, so I'm going to go through those. Joey, what's going on? Brian K, man, what's up? Logic, what does us versus herd mean? I will go through that. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. What I'm going to do is kind of tell you kind of what happened here. So I was actually at open today. I was up $40 in the day. I wish I could show you my Tastyworks account because it kind of shows it a little bit better here. I actually closed the day down. Let me make this a little smaller. Down $20 in the day. And my biggest mistakes were Square and Tesla. I day traded that. I actually made some money. So Goldman Sachs came down. I made some money in Goldman Sachs. I had a trade on there. Alibaba came down. I made a nice $70 on Alibaba when it crashed here. When it crashed down here. Timed it perfect. When it crashed, took some money, made about 70 bucks. So was really happy about that. But then things got a little dicey. What I did, I put a strangle on Square today for, I got the $100 calls and the $98 puts. And as you can see, I should have just taken the money, and I didn't here. And then for Tesla, what happened to me? What happened to me was actually when I saw this right here, this kind of like hammer bar right here, at 270, I was thinking about buying the 265 puts, but I was thinking like, no, I was probably not going to go out there. At that point, they were 60 cents. And then those puts then became $400 to $500. So then what I did here is when it came down from 265, hit down here at 261 and bounced back up to 265 and started going back down again, I bought the 260 puts, and for 60 cents, it was like 68 cents, I believe. Yeah, 68 cents. So I bought the puts for 68 cents, and it came down here. I was up like 80 to 100 bucks. I didn't take the money, and then it reversed instantly. I know actually one of my other accounts I did take the profits, but on my major accounts like this Thinkorswim account and this Tastyworks account that I normally trade on, I did not take the profits, and it actually ended up being a $60 loser. So between Tesla and Square, I lost $120. and it really negated my gains on Goldman Sachs and BABA, which really were really on break even on the day for the most part. But it just really I just forced them. I should have took the money. I broke a lot of my rules. So on that Tesla trade, when I was up over 100%, I should have immediately taken my profits, because usually when I'm up 100%, my target for buying options is 100%, and when I'm shorting options is 50%. And if I don't take the money, I guess it's just a good example of what happens when you disregard your rules and you don't take the money. So this week I'm going to be down about $80, which is not anything crazy. Definitely have had worse weeks, but definitely had better weeks. But this month has been a really good month for me in terms of trading. So hopefully that continues into October. This week was just kind of a bust, mostly because I wasn't trading that often, and then I forced some stuff here, and I disregarded my rules. So it happens here. What's going on, Paulo? Glenn was up 50 and lost it all today. Glenn, don't feel bad. I was up 120 and came back down to 0. I lost 20 bucks or 15 bucks or whatever the case is. I didn't really lose that much, but that's not the case. You got to stick to your rules, and you got to keep going. So Logic, what does us versus herd mean? So getting back to your question there, what does us versus herd mean is through life, whether you're it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old. So like the us versus herd mentality is like, if you kind of look through going through life, everyone's set up to go the same direction for the most part. So when you're in school, you sit down, you raise your hand when you have a question, talk to the teacher, everything's good. When you get older, you trade that desk in, you now have a cubicle, you work with teams, you work with, you have your boss, which is similar to your teacher. And then there's this mentality that you grind. The mentality is you grind for this job until one day they lay you off, and the masses get laid off. And the us versus herd is, not being a part of the herd is kind of the thing. So the herd mentality is to build up your 401k, get a safe job, get that college degree. But my mentality is that you should take better control of your retirement. Don't put your future in the hands of somebody else. And then like for trading wise, the us versus herd mentality is, especially like Bitcoin and the FOMO and the weed stocks and all that, is the herd mentality is FOMO. I got to get on this. I'm going to be rich. And then the rug gets pulled and they all lose their money. So it's basically, you want to outsmart the herd. So if you can outsmart the herd, you're going to be okay. You're going to make money. The herd does not make money. The herd goes bankrupt when they're 60, and that's really the us versus herd mentality. Cam, what's going on? So hope that answered your question. So when I say it's always us versus herd, it's always us versus them. It's always us versus the other person on the trade. It's always, so there's kind of, it kind of goes deep. There's a lot going on there. Brian K broke rules all week and bleeding bad. Yeah, I feel bad for you, man. I definitely took some L's. Today could have been a great green day if I just left it alone and I broke my rules. And I'm actually really glad that I'm almost break even on the day. Like it could have been way worse. So I'm definitely counting my blessings here. Let's see here. So if you're here, say what up. Just trying to hang out. Anybody trade Facebook? So what I mean by who got rich today, if you look at Tesla, actually, I have a better screenshot of these, but these are the puts today on some of them. And if you're looking at these puts here, they're 74,000%, 26,000%. So I was actually wondering if anybody in the group, I was actually thinking about shorting Tesla on Thursday, and then I didn't. That report came out, and it was just like, man, it kind of hurts. But at the same time, like who could have known that was going to happen? Is anybody holding puts on Tesla? I mean, like I don't know if I've ever seen like 80,000% gains on options before. But the good thing is it kind of hopeful, because look, this shows you the power of options. Like you could easily, so like a $2 play could have netted you like 15 bucks, 17 bucks. I mean, that's just insane. Just insane. You could have went from $2 to $2,000 per contract, which is amazing. So, did anybody here trade trade Tesla? Cam said he had a bad week. Algo said he bought another lottery ticket. GE calls. Man, I told you not to stop trading GE. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You can trade what you want. But lotto tickets, I did a video like a couple days ago on lotto tickets and why they were a bad idea. And I guess lotto tickets on Tesla would have paid off today. But like the problem that I see with lotto tickets is like you keep putting money into the market, lottoing, and it kind of negates the gains that you're trying to get. So over time, like it may work out for you, but you're gonna have to wait like a very, very long time. I think you probably have a better chance of winning like this Tesla trade than you would actually winning the lotto, but still, it's very, very rare. What's the deal with October? So Mud Client says, what's the deal with October 17th? Think Canadian Mary Jane stocks will. I actually don't know. Is that a date that something's going to be voted on? I don't really know anything about October 17th. So Greg had a red day yesterday. Didn't trade today. End of the week down $10. End of the month down $70. I mean, that's okay. Sometimes it's best to stay out. You know, thankfully you're only down $10. I mean, I've had months where I was down $1,000. Obviously, I've had months that I was up, you know, $6,000, $8,000. But you gotta be thankful you're down $10. And if you're on a consistent losing streak, like today's, I'm not on a consistent losing streak. Today was not a great day, but it wasn't a bad day. If you're in a consistent losing streak, just you got to paper trade. Like a lot of people have been asking me like lately is, you know, why is it that when I paper trade I make money, and then when I don't paper trade I actually lose money? And I really think that when you're putting up your own money or you're putting up fake money, there's a difference in terms of your emotions. And like when you're trading, it's very, very emotional. Like greed takes over, fear takes over. A lot of different things can take over when you're trading. So if you realize you're paper trading successfully without, you know, using fake money, you have to see what kind of emotion triggers that response that you're using when you're losing when using real money. Greg got paper money rich with Tesla. Oh man! So nobody here trade. It's hard for me to believe that nobody was trading those Tesla puts. I mean, that's crazy. I thought there would be at least one person. Somebody got rich today. Don't lie. Sam, question. Joey has a question here. Do you find yourself taking bigger losers on Friday? So I actually did this Friday right, I believe, in terms of what I normally do. And what I normally do, what I mean by normally do, I mean for this market. A lot of like last Friday I had a loser. Last 3 Fridays were losers, and this Friday was actually flat for the most part. So it actually is an improvement for me because the last few Fridays I told you guys that I should probably be selling premium on Fridays versus buying premium. And I wasn't listening to myself the last few Fridays. And then this Friday, I was actually green for most of the day up until, you know, the afternoon time. So I actually thought that I was going to break the curse. And the thing is, what I learned is don't buy options on Friday that are expiring, or don't buy any options that are expiring Friday. So if you put a trade on Thursday or even Wednesday, don't leave it up for Friday. Like I did trade TNDM. I set it for next week, and I did trade Snap yesterday. I bought both those yesterday, but I have them for next week expiration. You know, and it really helped me out until I day traded Square and Tesla. So, Hamed, how will these puts gain so much? Hamed, the reason why those Tesla puts gain so much is because the market was not expecting. So Thursday, you're going into expiration day. Today's expiration day. The market was not anticipating such a huge move. You know, they were not anticipating Tesla to be down $42. I think the anticipated move was like $8 or $9 at market close yesterday on Tesla, and it moved $42, which is 4 times the expected move. And that's why those puts, because these puts down here, like the 270s and stuff, were probably worthless at close yesterday. And the like the 275s and stuff, you know, were like 2 cents and stuff. I think I had a screenshot earlier about that, but I did post that in our options trading group. So let's see here. Joey says, or Hamed says, NVIDIA. Oh, Canada. Mud Client says Canada legal cannabis October 17th. So I think they're going to legalize it. So that should be in play, especially like Tilray. Joe says Tilray setting it for a dump below Monday 97 next week, which could be true unless that legalization goes through. I think it's going to get a nice bump. Thanks, Jeff. I lose when I FOMO. And logic, most people lose when they FOMO. Like, that's what the us versus herd mentality is. The us versus herd mentality is kind of like, if you can actually profit on the herd. Like, if you understand where they're all going, you know, do the opposite. You know, depending on Tilray was difficult to short because the premiums were so high, and it was a very risky trade unless you had a huge account that you could afford to risk, you know, $10,000 on, $4,000 on. It would have paid off great, but the risk was really high, and you'd have to be able to weather the storm, because when it went from 90 to 300, shorts were feeling the pain. People were shorting it. Definitely people were shorting it, but they were not getting rewarded. And you have to have the capital to withstand the pain. Wally made $250 on his put today. Congrats, man. Glad someone made money. So nobody here got rich, unfortunately, it looks like. Joe says the only way to trade Tesla is weekly puts and calls only if you get entry on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I check prices. Yeah, Joe, I agree with that too. I actually day traded Tesla last Friday for it was about a 50% gainer. That's why I think that I could do it today. I actually did profit. I did take profits on Tesla on one of my other accounts, but on the majority account, I let it ride and turned into max loss. What is Paulo says? What is your opinion for Facebook on Monday? So Facebook was crazy today. Like, let's go to. So the one thing that I will say about Facebook right now is yes they had that breach. It was only 50 million users, which is kind of a very small percentage of their active users. I mean, they got like 2 billion active users, I think, something around there. So 50 million users is a lot of people, but it's still very small. So and if you look at the range here, I mean, even though it went down $4 today, it's still range bound here. Nothing's really cracked below. Now, if it went through 160 today, I'd be kind of worried. But right now it's still range bound, and it's actually not even near the bottom of this range yet. I mean, it's 160. It's got to break below 160 for it to get real dicey here. Yes, Joe, Tesla. I mean, Square is rich too. Daniel, legalization is already approved and goes into effect in October. Okay, so what I will say for like Tilray and the people that are, you know, for the distribution, I would say that the distribution channels, I don't know if they're going to get a bump. I don't know if it's going to be like immediate or like, you know, for their quarterly reports. So, but how was everyone's week? You know, let me know. Were you guys green? Were you guys red? I was actually slightly red, but I've been coming off some seriously pretty strong winning weeks lately. So, you know, if I'm gonna have a red week, I'd actually have one that's sub $100 than something way worse. You know, I definitely wouldn't want to have a week that was down $500, down $1,000, or down $2,000. You know, so I'll take a week where I'm down $60, $70 or $80. I don't mind that. Christopher was slightly green because of AMD. Joe says Facebook trades down to buy on Monday, Tuesday, and rallies into October. Setting things up nicely for his Black Friday event. What? I guess, Joe, I don't understand why you're saying 10/25 is going to be a Black Friday event, and like, how do you even come up with those scenarios? You know, if you want to enlighten us, definitely would like to be enlightened. Sammy says Baidu is killing him. So yeah, Baidu and like Baidu, However, like this has been good trading though. So if you've been trading both sides, this has been good trading. So if you're buying calls, it hasn't been very good unless you're buying him at like 210. So you got to understand, like when you're buying options, like really focus on the range here. Like right now, I'd probably be looking to get set up short here, just because that's the range that's been going in. Like right now, I'd probably be looking to get in short. If it went a little higher, maybe up to 235 or so. Be looking to get up short. Actually, 235 would probably be a really nice strangle play on Baidu, because if it does break through, it can go to 245. If it doesn't break through, I mean, we're going to retrace down to 215 or lower. Alibaba is pretty much the same thing, and I've been making some pretty good money on the strangles here because look at those wide ranges there. That's why we've been making some decent money on the strangles. This week was a slower week, so I still made some money on Alibaba, but it was slower for me. Christopher, still holding puts for Snapnik. I actually cut them loose today. I bought them yesterday for next week expiration. Then we hit the lows at 840. I actually sold them when it was 841. I sold them back. So I bought them for 10 cents, and I think I sold them for like 29 cents. What was it? Yeah, 29 cents right here. So I bought them for 10 cents, sold them for 29. So I was after my losses on Tesla and Square. I really wanted to stick to my rules of 100%. I was up 200%. I was up to like 190% on those snap puts. So time to go. No reason for me to hold them. I could always put on another position on next week. My portfolio, Mohammed says my portfolio comes from 15% down to 7%. So it's a good week overall. Nice. Yeah, my Robinhood portfolio was actually up. I don't know if I could pull it up here. I actually don't really actively trade on here. But in the last week, let me see if I could pull it up for you guys here. You guys do a lot of trading on Robinhood. Come on. So yeah, this is my Robinhood account, which is not loading for the chart here. And the last week I'm up 7%, and this year I'm up 37%. We've had some dicey, but what I'm looking to do here for some of these holdings here, like I'm very social media heavy, so I'm going to be looking to kind of scale that back and try to figure out what to do with that. I don't know if I'm going to keep Facebook right now. My average share here is 88 bucks. Square has had an amazing run here on this bad boy. I mean, we're up 100. Oops, you guys can't see that. You know, we're up 193% here on Square. You know, my average cost is 33 bucks. You know, Facebook, I'm up 85%. My average cost is 88. So, you know, I'm still looking good on my Robinhood portfolio. Like in the last week, we're up 7%. In the last year, I'm up 37%. You know, but look, we took some damage here after this is when Facebook reported earnings, and then the other social media stocks tanked. So definitely been rough. So yeah, this is my Robinhood's mostly my account for tutorials on Robinhood, and I just hold some stock in there. I don't actually really use it that much. People are really surprised that I don't really use Robinhood that much, because the reason why I don't use Robinhood that much is because it actually ends up, like from a trading perspective, like when I'm trading options, it actually ends up costing you money. You pay extra money on fills, you don't get the fastest fills, and the charting is just terrible, and you can't get in and out of trades as quickly as you can on like Tastyworks or Thinkorswim. So it kind of eats up your I know it says free commissions, but you're definitely paying for it somewhere. Joe says, I just gave you enlightenment. The market will drop hard when there are no shorts left to cover. So it's just a theory. So when you're saying like a Black Friday event, just because you think it is doesn't mean that there's like a binary event or anything crazy like that. Samuel says, I saw you said on Facebook not to use a margin account on Robinhood. Why? Oh, no. So somebody on our options trading group said that he lost his money and he's looking to make making a margin account. He wants to get a margin account. So a couple red flags there. One, you lost your money. Two, you're looking to deposit more money and then invest in stocks on margin. So what's going to happen to you? If you lost your money once, you should try to figure out why you lost your money and how to stop losing your money. Second of all, if you're going to go back after losing all your money, you're going to go back into the market and then go on margin. And then what happens when when those positions go against you? You know, Robinhood's going to call you up and knock on your door and say they need their money like tomorrow. So, you know, it's not the best thing. After losing your money, buying margin is actually never good. It's kind of like using a credit card. So it's like not good to use a credit card because you got to one day pay that back. And the same thing with margin. Like what if let's say for instance I bought, you know, Facebook shares yesterday because I thought, like, let's say I thought Facebook was going to go up, bought a bunch of Facebook, and then I ate 3% and it was, you know, something like that. Or what if I bought, or worse, what if I bought Tesla shares on margin? And I bought Tesla shares because look, this, I was telling you guys, this looks like a really nice coil up without the news event. This could have been really nice, back up to 320, 330, you know, before going back down. You know, definitely was looking very bullish in this trend here. And what if I loaded it up on stock with margin and then I'm down all this money and you know, if you don't have the money to pay it back, I mean, you're gonna be in big trouble. It's kind of like you're maxing out credit cards and you can't pay it back. So that's the danger of using margin. You can actually really lose your you can lose your account and you can affect your future. Like you can, you know, some people. You can research this on like Google it. What happened to some people on margin? People have lost their homes. They've lost their 401ks. You know, if you have trouble controlling yourself, you know, margin account's not going to be for you. And you know, it's dangerous. You know. Daniel says, "How long have I been holding Square?" Let's see here. How long have I been holding Square? A while. These are some options we bought and sold on it. So stock. So I bought some in September of 2017 and December of 2017, and I haven't made a purchase since December. Let's see what Tiva messed me up. Bought some calls and Tiva went down. Yeah, actually. I don't know if you, Wally, I don't know if you watched my live stream a few days ago. I actually had a strangle on Tiva, and it was a loser. And because of these down days, I was actually able to get back. I was actually down 50% on it, and I was actually able to get out green on it. Not a big winner. I think I made like 20 bucks. It was a very small win. Manny, nice to see you. Thanks for joining, man. Welcome. If you're here now, say what up. There's about 30 people in the stream right now. I can't believe this many people are watching on our Friday. Usually Fridays, but people kind of chill out. But welcome to the family. The UVH family is definitely showing up today. Yeah, I actually made money last year on Tiva when it dropped down to like 18. And then I really haven't traded since then. And then I just recently put on this was the strangle, and it came down. And I made a little bit of money. So Joe says update on Shield now trend low at 82 cents. Now forces me to lower my minimum buy target from 50 cents to 45. Check out the chart. Never buy a gap down like that around. You know, my opinion on that is just don't trade penny stocks. Don't trade penny stocks. I mean, there's a lot easier ways to make a buck in the market than trading penny stocks, especially something like Sears. You know, better off trading. If you want to pay like penny stocks, now Snap is getting in penny stock zone. You know, Snap is definitely getting into that area. Christopher says, do you trade any of the financials or ALF ETF? I usually do not. I actually rely more on tech stocks. If you haven't noticed or watching, you know, you can see my watch list here on some of the things that I trade, and then some of the things that I go through over on the daily. Hamed, yeah, Wally, don't like using other people's money. Yep. Hamed, thoughts on FedEx? Oops. FedEx. I mean, FedEx just had earnings, and looks like this 240 area is looking good. I don't know what the price is. This might actually be good, Ahmed. Let's see here. Oops. Not first data. Let's see what these are coming in at. Yeah, I mean, looks like you could put some cheap options here. The expected move is $4 for next week. Yeah, it doesn't the option pricing in here is not bad at all. And if it moves big, like if it moves up from 240 to 245, or even like the 250, like it did back in here, this could be really good. Actually, I might take that trade idea from you for next week. I do like trading FedEx, but it's been difficult. As you can see, there's been some interesting times here. It did gap down on earnings here, but it looks like 240 has just been chilling. I mean, I would definitely sell if I had a position on here. I would definitely sell at 245 or 250 for sure. 265 and 274. This was back when the market was running real hot back here. I don't think this is not a very good level to gauge. Joe, the rule applies to any stock: never buy a gap down. Gap downs, lows always get retested. I guess I can kind of agree with that. Sammy says, what do I think of MMM? Let's see, what's MMM? 3M. 210. I actually haven't traded this, but it does look like it's going to have some bullish momentum here. Nice little reset from the 218 area here down to 210. Let's see here. What are their options on? Options are looking not the most liquid, but not terrible. The options are pretty cheap in here. I would just say because of the volume, you just have to be careful of the bid and the ask and your mid price. Like, make sure you're getting a good deal on options. It doesn't matter if you're buying options or selling options. Make sure you're getting a good deal on these because like these puts 84 were traded, and on the call side, only 60 and 75 were traded on that side. So definitely be careful of the volume. But if it does get some momentum, if it does have a couple days, I would probably buy. If I were going to do a trade here, I wouldn't do something 7 days. I'd probably do like the monthlies. Yeah, look at the monthlies. That's open interest. Not much volume today. So I would probably do something in the monthlies if I were going to make a trade here. It doesn't look terrible. Just got to be aware of the low liquidity and they are being traded just very low volume. So just be careful on that bid and the ask. Where is a good place? Manny says, where's a good place to get a forecast for SPY? Hey, if you're here right now, more people are joining the stream. If you're here right now, say what's up. This is the Friday family chat. Every Friday we do a nice little family chat where we can kind of just hang out, get to know one each other. And I actually answered some questions earlier today about what us versus herd really is. So, I definitely appreciate everyone that joins this stream and this channel. Like, if you guys leave a comment, like, what do you guys like about these streams? What do you guys don't like about these streams? I'm kind of new to the streaming game, so I'm trying to fine-tune it and provide content that you guys like. Do you guys like going through the trades of the day? Do you guys like doing something else? Or, the case is, let me know. Leave a comment. So going back to Manny, where's a good place to get a forecast for SPY? I don't really know how to answer that question. Like, are you saying where do you think SPY is going to go? Because it could go anywhere right now. We've been following this trend. However, 290. I think if it breaks 290, you're gonna feel some pain, like probably 285, 280, which I don't know. We need some catalyst here. I mean, but at the same time, like, we can't keep going up forever without any major pullback. We need some major pullback. Like back in here, we got some nice pullback. I'd like to see some pullback. Back in here, went from 278 down to 270, nice pullback. But since the 270 here, we really haven't experienced any pullback more than a couple dollars. Like, this was a $5 pullback down from 285 to 280, but really didn't do anything. I don't really like trading these kind of things these kind of charts because it's hard to make money because this can stay flat. Like, what if this stays flat at 290 for like a month? You're going to eat away at your premiums. And also IV is super low right now. But you got to be careful because like I said this before, like all of 2017 people were shorting when we just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Like if you look back in here, back in October, November, we just went up and up and up and up and up. And eventually we did crash. Yes, we did crash. But you got to have enough money in your account if you're shorting to withstand the pain. you'll be rewarded, but how much money do you have and can you withstand it? It's better just to focus on trades that are low risk, high reward trades. Facebook, another example of gap down. Agree, Joe. Hamed, I wanted to buy Nike calls, but it doesn't pull back. I actually bought Nike calls earlier this week that I got out with a small profit. I bought the 85 calls a couple days ago. I'm glad I sold them because I got out with a profit because then it came back down to 82.50, and then we got out. Actually, I sold these. When did I sell these? I actually sold these like 2 days ago. Yeah. So this was earnings here. Sorry, a lot of trades. Gets confusing sometimes. So yeah, here gap down from earnings, and then it came back up, and I sold them in here somewhere for a small profit. Wish I bought more because I think I made like 200% on it. So I wish I bought more. I only bought one contract, so it was kind of a lame trade, but made some money. Darnell says, look at Visa. Visa, yeah. Same kind of thing as SPY. And I actually talked about this. I think Ahmed said something about this the other day. And look at 150 here looking real tight. I mean, looking kind of dicey here. It actually probably would be a good strangle play because IV is low and you're sitting here at 150 just chilling. You know, it could break down or it could break out. So when that range gets tight, when that range gets tight like that, you got to be careful for both long and shorts. Joe says, show us a trade setup you like going into the next day after each stream, please. I will definitely keep that in mind, as tomorrow is Monday, or tomorrow's Saturday, so Monday I will do that. So let me write that down. I'm actually going to say, so you want me to show you a trade setup you like going in the next day. So that makes sense. So I will definitely keep that in mind. Greg says, explain the thought process behind different strategies. Do you mean like different strategies that I'm using for current holdings, or are you talking about just different strategies in general? Wally, 2 years, been trying to control my emotions, still can't. Wally, it takes some time, man. It takes some time to just really... The best way that I found out, like, for controlling my emotions and making consistent profits is, like, don't concentrate on your balance. Don't concentrate on any other trade. Just concentrate on that one trade. If you're going to put that trade on, you're putting that trade on for a reason, and that's to make money. So make sure it's a good opportunity to make money. And then don't risk, like, if you get really sweaty when putting trades on and the trade starts going against you, you're probably trading too big. You got to scale back that risk. Like, don't do like 10, 20 contracts. Scale that back to 5 or 2 or even 1 contract. Like last year, I was telling somebody I was trading 5 to 10 contracts pretty consistently, and now I'm scaled back because of the way the market's been. Like I'm doing like 1 contract, 2 contracts, and the reason for that, actually, in the environment that we're in now, you can make more money on less contracts than you could have with more contracts last year in 2017. So, SPY Logic says SPY too grindy right now. Joe mentioned BAC yesterday, closed to buy signal. What do you think of the weekly calls looking up next Friday? Bank of America. I actually got out barely on Goldman Sachs today. I don't know if I'd be buying calls in this. Yeah, I'm actually thinking we're gonna come back down to here, to be honest with you. You know, it could bounce here, but I mean, for me personally, I'd be waiting to see what would happen, and let's see. How much is it down today? It's down 2% almost, 50 cents. You know, for next week. However, options are pretty cheap. You could do something. You know, if you can do something for like 50 cents, I would probably do something for like 50 cents. So let's see here. If it's gonna bounce, you think you'd go back to? You think this would be resistance or not? You know, it's hard to say. This kind of chart's really just kind of, it's just fading. So in a week it's down $2 in about a week and a half. So you'd have to do something. If I was going to do pricing, so in terms of pricing, I'd probably be looking for something around 50 cents. You know, depending if that's a strangle or if that's buying a call or buying puts, I'd probably be looking at something that's 50 cents in this. Wally says, pick a topic. what does that mean? So I usually have a general topic. So what at the very beginning of the stream, I actually do have topics that I go over at the beginning of the stream. If you're late to the stream, I'm mostly going over trades that people and questions that people have. But in the beginning of the streams, I'm actually answering everyone's questions. Algo says, as far as SPY goes, accumulate puts, longer term, midterm elections. Meanwhile, scalp dits, use profits to accumulate more puts. Mentality, long term, short term, long term. The one thing that I've been having trouble trading on SPY is getting the pricing right. I feel like I don't have good pricing on SPY. It always feels like you're not going to make that much money on it compared to other products. I don't know if that's true. Has anyone else experienced that, where you feel like when you trade SPY, when you make money and it has a large move, you don't make as much money as you would another stock, especially like a tech stock? John says, how do you define an uptrend? So let's go back to Tesla. I mean, it's kind of ruined now, but because of the news. And this was news inflicted. It wasn't, if this news didn't come out, I actually think it would still be going higher. So an uptrend looks something like this. If you're looking at that, and this is like a short-term uptrend. I wouldn't say, obviously, long-term, this is not a very good long-term uptrend. In terms of a long-term uptrend, looking at like something like Amazon. Amazon, obviously, the long-term uptrend is undeniable. This is definitely, Amazon's definitely a buy the dip type of stock. Major dips get bought. But Amazon is still a growth stock. John says, how could I tell if it will go up or down? That's the trick. I mean, the thing is, you want to set yourself up. You want to set yourself up for low risk, high reward trades. So let's go into something like, let's go back to Tesla. Like for Tesla, like you wouldn't want to buy up here. You'd be looking to buy down here where support is, right? So that's what I mean by setting yourself up. There's not, like, every day there's not an opportunity on the same stock. So sometimes you do get good opportunities in the stock, but you can't always set yourself up for that. You always want to set yourself up for a low risk, high reward. That way you minimize your risk, but you actually have a nice way to go. So the people that were buying down here in the 270s, 280s were rewarded. And then for shorts, like back in here, for shorting around 340 mark, you were rewarded. Buying down here in the low 300s, you were rewarded. And that's kind of how you want to set it up. Buying in areas of support and shorting in areas of resistance will set you up for greater success than just buying something just to buy something. Ahmed says he was going to buy a call on GS and didn't. Ahmed, you got lucky, because you got Goldman Sachs got messed up today. Pretty much the same as Bank of America. The banks are having a hard time here. I mean, Goldman Sachs were hitting yearly lows almost on this thing. I've been making some money. I've been making some money on the drips and dips. It's been good to me the last couple of weeks, but it's been tough. It's been tough if you're long. If you're long on this, you're in trouble. John says he got screwed by IGC. I bought too high, then it started a downtrend. Yep, that's what happens. Yeah, when you chase so when you're trading, you're always thinking about limiting your risk, limiting your exposure, which in that case would improve your odds of making money. So in options, it's always about probability and also kind of thinking about where the stock is going. In terms of like Tesla, I know it's having a hard time because of all the bad press and the things that Elon did, and those things you really can't avoid. But like, let's say like Facebook has been range bound outside of falling apart here on the data breaches and then going up before earnings and falling apart. Probably just a bunch of people got short squeezed here, but it's been very range bound here, and you can definitely, Facebook is something that you could buy in areas of support and short in areas of resistance and make money. So, and right now it's very range bound to that as well. So California says do a setup for Facebook. So Yeah, right now I did talk about this earlier. Like let's say you were gonna look at. Sorry about my glasses. These glasses. I don't normally wear glasses. These help my eyes from looking at the monitor all day. If I were gonna put a position on Facebook, I'd actually put a position on right now if it were me at around 160. Because that would increase my odds for going long. Now, right now, 164, you might want to put on like a strangle if you can get some good pricing, because you're between 170 and 160. You know, depending on the pricing. If you can't get good pricing, you know, don't do it. Let's see what, and then IV's up a little bit as well. So you got to be careful of that. Let's see Facebook for next week. If I were going to do a trade on Facebook, you know, the 160s, I'd actually, at this point, that's coming in pretty expensive. So at this point, what's the move? Yeah, they're expecting a $5 move. I'd actually wait for it to hit 160 or get back up to 170 before putting a trade on. So that's just me. Manny says, I think you're doing great. I got started mostly because of you. Man, I definitely appreciate it. I'm glad I'm inspiring you. We're at 45 minutes here. We're having a long family chat today. People that are going to watch this later are going to be like, what in the world did you guys do today? Jamie says, is it Jamie or Jaime? I'm sorry. What are the best indicators for stocks? You know, it really depends on like what you're good at trading. Like for me, I'm good at trading areas of support and resistance, as you can see like some of the examples that I showed you. And if you follow our options trading group, when I put trades on, you can see that I look for areas of support and resistance in the charts. And I also like trading 52-week highs and 52-week lows. I don't necessarily like trading, let's say like SPY. I don't like trading just sitting here, because SPY, like you were saying, is a slow mover, and it really just sits here and will just eat away a premium. And I feel like the premium's kind of expensive for where it's at right now. Even though IV is super low, just for like short-term day trading or swing trading or whatever the case is, I don't see the value there or wasting time on something like that. Joe, I definitely think Goldman Sachs. I'm definitely going to be trading Goldman Sachs next week. AC said, could someone trade monthlies with lower decay for less than $1 contracts? My account is small now. I'm having problems identifying contracts that aren't weeklies. I end up having to day trade the weeks. Are you trading on Robinhood? So Robinhood doesn't do a good job of saying which ones are the weeklies and which ones are the monthly options. But as you can see here, like on Tastyworks and on Thinkorswim, this is Thinkorswim, it identifies these are weeklies. The ones that aren't identified as weeklies, the ones that are in black here, these are monthlies expirations. So anything that doesn't say weeklies are monthly expirations here. So you can definitely trade, but if you have a small account, it doesn't matter if you're trading weekly options or monthly options. You can only trade open and close day trades 3 times per 5 days. It's a SEC rule. I just checked the 20-year bond as measured by TLT. It closed on a buy. Consider GS long. Banks will rally on rising market-driven rates. Yeah, I can see that. But at the end of the day, these banks have been doing what they want to do, and Goldman Sachs actually closed pretty down today at 1.5%. Other banks closed down to like 1 to 2%, and S&Ps and everything were really flat today. Even though everything was set to drop like 100 points or more at open, like Dow was set to drop 100 points and then came back, reversed. I was actually pretty glad today wasn't just like a boring flat day like they always have been last month. Fridays have been terrible for trading. John White says, would you recommend holding stocks overnight? So my strategy, I said this before, like my typical strategy, I'm mostly a swing trader versus like a day trader. And I find that I have, like, some people are really good at day trading, and some people are really good at swing trading. And I find that I have a higher success rate when I swing trade. Now I'll do day trades, but when I do day trades, I have to find an enormous opportunity. Like today on Tesla, I did blow that, but I did cash in on one of my accounts, thankfully. But on my active accounts that are aggressive, that I trade on all the time, I did lose on them. When I would say day trading requires a lot more discipline and knowledge, and also day trading, you have to be able to take smaller profits than hitting the targets. You have to take smaller profits because stock whipsaw so fast. So, what's up, Chicken Wing? What's up, man? Appreciate you. So, I'm going to be hopping off here. We're at 50 minutes. This is actually my longest live stream ever. Definitely really enjoyed hanging out with all you guys, definitely, or gals, and whoever else was here. It's hard to tell sometimes who's all here. So definitely appreciate everybody that was here. I want to thank everyone. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. All of that subscribe every day, tune into the channel. I mean, thank you so much. I definitely would never have thought that this many people would watch this channel. So I appreciate everyone. Thank you.